going to be there. Like I position myself as a support because let's face it, if Bel Air opens, I'm not going to be able to stay alive. There's not enough draw to Central Lake to bring that kind of people to be walking around. But I have concerns even beyond that because of all of the couple of companies that have bought property in Bel Air are all part of that larger, if you will, just pushing the product.
So I'll circle back, so if they, is it over 2 minutes?
Mhm.
Oh, sorry. All right, we'll talk later.
Okay.
Number 7, reports. Police report, Scott.
Great, thank you. Good to be back. Thank you. Hopefully you got a chance to look at the report. Started out in January 13th, so it's only got like 2 weeks worth of information on there, but I kind of thought it ironic that I looked back in January 2024 and kind of almost the same amount of complaints and stuff like that, so got pretty busy. I spent most of my first week, 2 weeks, just catching up on paperwork, getting things to where we can be filed, got it out of the office. First week I was here, I was waiting for MCOs to get the process going. It took about a week, so even though I've been back for 4 weeks, really only going to come back for 3 weeks. But got everything caught up, we're good to go. Got a chance to talk to Rob and Michelle about the budget, some of the things that we kind of look forward to for next year. I'll share with you guys, we're talking about radios. I talked to Jairus the other day. Come January 2026, we need to do something with our portable radios. So we talked about that last summer, and we got some radios from the county that we were borrowing, so we weren't pursuing that, but it's still something we need to focus on and try to figure out how we're going to do that. I talked to a radio company today. They're sending me some quotes and stuff like that, but we're talking somewhere between $5,000 to $10,000 probably. But there's some grants out there that we work on those. I got 2 target dates, one for the summer of 2025 and one for the fall, winter of 2025, that we can probably target and get most of that taken care of and paid for. So something that we need to probably look at. Obviously, they'll get some funding for it, but I think there's some grant money out there, so we'll try to tackle that. We also talked about a little bit of repairs and stuff like that, but if you have any questions, but there's a couple things I'll probably throw at you as we go throughout the year, just kind of catch your idea about things. Rob and I talked the other day about, as we're setting money aside for cars, do we want to get rid of one of our cars now, like a little bit more money available for it, like Tahoe, and then get into something a little bit newer, less repairs and stuff like that. So we're either going to start paying for some repairs, or we're going to start maybe shifting some cargo. The Tahoe we have is 13 years old, which is really, it's unheard of in law enforcement to have a car that old because of training or suspension and stuff like that. It kind of starts wearing out something. But it runs really well, but it's just something we'll start looking at. Nothing we have to do right at this time. So, but as we look at things for the future, obviously some radios, maybe a little bit of repairs. Everything else I think we're good to go. So, but I'd be more than glad to talk to anybody or ideas and stuff like that. So, as we move forward. Working on training, one of the things that's changed since last year to this year is MCOL, so the state of Michigan is now requiring that we have mandatory training, which they kind of just left it over. In years past, it was always just, firearms was always the big thing, but that's kind of it. They kind of suggested some of things. Now it's mandatory with the 30 CUs or continuing credits per year, so there's a lot of training we have to do. So I've got most of that done. The good thing about it is most of it's free, but you just have to go find it. So like yesterday I was thinking about going to school tomorrow, and I got changed to yesterday. So yesterday I just quickly changed things, ran over to Milton Township and did my defensive tactics and the IO training, which was put on by the sheriff department. And it was free to us, so it's going to take a little bit of time. So once in a while you'll see me gone for a day or something like that. It's just catching up on the training. So but the good thing is, most of it's free, just gotta go find it. So Traverse City is one option, coming down the road, down there's most of the places that we'll go. So that's kind of really the big thing that's kind of changed throughout the year. So every year there'll be 1 or 2 mandated classes that we have. This year it's mental health training and stuff like that. Next year it'll be probably domestic violence, or next year there'll be something about school shootings, something like that. So they have targeted things we have to go through, which is a good thing. So it's just for smaller departments, it's hard. I can imagine what Detroit's doing with thousands of police officers for all their officers to training, so it's probably even millions of dollars in budgets for them. So we're lucky that the sheriff's department's great, like yesterday was all three trainings. I know I kind of talked a little bit fast, but, any questions by all these?
Court, Hoffman ordinance complaint?
Yes, so as we're talking about, when I had left here in September, we had that ordinance issue that was pending. And the judge basically ruled in the favor of the village and basically gave her 90 days to comply. So as, while I was gone for 4 months, that 90 days was running out. When I came back, Rob and Michelle and I talked about, and they kind of tasked me with, that's gonna be a big focus, cover all the places that town, the burnt out buildings, stuff like that, those are probably primarily my focus. So I started working back on that. We had court just the other day. They basically said she never showed up, plus the 90 days had ran out, so they basically gave the village a judgment to whoever, to the next step, basically. So there's a couple questions that we've got to propose to the village attorney as far as what we can do, when we can do those and stuff like that. So we'll need at some point, we either gonna contract somebody to go clean that place up, then that bill that goes on with the taxes. And there's another one. So back when I was here in September last summer, we talked about instead of tackling every single ordinance problem, we're going to focus on one or two. That's what the village attorney suggested because of the amount of paperwork that goes involved, the court stuff and stuff like that. So we're going to always have two on the front burner and 2 or 3 on the back burner. So that's kind of what we're going to focus on at this point. So it becomes a little bit more manageable, a little bit more financially, better for us as far as not having to tackle it all at one time. So, and the courts like that because they don't want to look at 30 complaints all at once. So that's kind of what the court thing was. The other one is Mr. Schmidt. He's still on the radar screen, so he's going to get hurt next week. So.
Any other questions for Scott? Thank you, Scott.
Okay, thank you.
DPW, John.
January, not a ton of bullet parks out there, but it was a pretty active month. Snowplow operations, we had some water main and sewer main repairs.
Never wait till weather's good, do they?
Well, they waited till I was in California too, so.
Yeah, it was like that, right?
So yeah, besides 3 main repairs, a sewer repair, and plenty of snow moving equipment. That's basically their month.
I noticed a few streets are a little bit narrower than they used to be. I don't know if there's anything you need to do about it, but.
You got the official call and how much snow you got?
In Central Lake, no, I think Antrim's at 160, 170. Wherever they've got famous, I
I was thinking it looks a lot like our 200-inch snows we used to get in the 90s.
Well, I just think we hadn't had meltdowns. That was just the Sioux has about the same number, but they haven't had meltdowns, and it looks quite impressive.
We've had snow banks moved in a lot of places that I haven't in 20 years.
No, we've done some push a lot of corners back, and we pretty much every time front plows on every time. Between last snow and a rookie dragger, some of them got narrow, but they'll start working them out.
Well, we don't get any meltdowns in between these storms either.
Not lately.
No,
Just
They're
don't
really-
work them out too fast, please.
really pile them up.
The snowbanks.
I did you guys loader, so
I know, but I'm just saying with the front plow, just don't, fill the driveways up fast.
Yeah, we've got. It's been nice that a little warm the other day. I was like, God, it's not very good, but yeah. They're not terrible. A few spots, but still got a rear driver sitting in the hangar.
All they put holds up pretty good so far.
Pretty much.
All right, thank you, John. President report, I don't think anything to add. Anything already been talked about? Correspondence, Ally, correspondence.
No, not this month.
Approval of the bills, total approved $68,724.51.
Make a motion, we approve the bill for $68,724.51.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Ring,
Yes.
Chapman,
Yes.
Tyler,
Yes.
Shearhart,
Yes.
Drake.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Turn the page. Old business. We'll move to 11, new business, Thailand presentation. Dina, take it away.
There will be two correspondents coming from me, that's probably in the mail, as we speak. One is just an update on the water trail. We host the water trail and we appreciate your partnership, and so there'll be just an update about this year's statistics coming as well as a request for us to, next month, to host the Paddlehaven Festival and use Thurston Park again in September. So I will look to be back maybe next month to discuss those as well. But today, my name is Dina Girardi. I'm the Executive Director of Paddlehaven. Our mission is to protect the waterways by connecting people through paddle sports. And so we host the Cheatham Lakes Water Trail, and we have since it opened in 2021. It encompasses 4 counties, so Charlevoix, Antrim, Kalkaska, and Grand Traverse. We work with 20 different partners, like the Village of Central Lake, to make the water trail happen. So it's dependent on all 20 entities working with us to create this water trail with 84 access sites and over 100 miles of trail. Our vision is to connect the waterways to the people and the communities. And so we see the impact that the water trail has on improving people's mental and physical health. We think when we get people out on the water, they understand why it's so precious and they work to protect it. So stewardship is a big part of our work that we do. And we also feel that the water trail helps with the economic vitality of the community and the economy. We did the water trail plan when we first started this back in 2017. And then this past year, we're on our 5th year of the water trail. So we decided to update our water trail plan. And one of the things that we've heard through this, we surveyed about 150 people, businesses, paddlers, site owners like yourself. And what we heard from a lot of people is they want trailheads. So they want to see main access sites. And they want these main access sites to be connected to the communities. They want to be able to go into towns, stop and have ice creams, know where they can swim, and all of those things. So they're looking for connectivity to communities. They're looking for accessible launches. They're looking for more bathrooms along the water trail. Big one there. They're looking for us to get rid of motorboats. Not going to do that. But that's what we're hearing. They want to be connected. And so we're excited about the village's leadership and moving forward with the improvements in Thurston Park. So congratulations. Thank you for your vision and leadership to put in the trust fund grant to secure funds to work on the universal access water trail. So we're really excited about that. Moving forward. We love that there's a launch. We love that there's parking. We love that it's all universally accessible, that you thought about invasive species with a boat wash information, as well as kayak rack. So we're super excited about all of that. And as part of our water trail plan update, we came up with some recommendations and standards of things that we're looking for in trailheads. And you have 99% of what we're looking for, and I'm super excited. The one thing that we still see that's missing, and it was talked about as a phase 2 of that project, is connectivity to a restroom. So when trailheads, one of the things that people are looking for is connectivity to the communities and to the restrooms. And so one of the things that's missing is universally, while the new stuff you're putting in is all universally accessible, there's no universally accessible bathroom or connectivity to the existing bathroom. And so Paddle Antrim is interested and willing to work with the village to help finish that connectivity as part of your project. Looking and talking to the engineer and with Rob, it looks like the trust fund project isn't going to happen likely until 2026. And so I met with John as well as Rob out there and just kind of looked at what would connectivity to the community and to the restrooms look like. And so, let me see. Hold on 1 second. It's not a very pretty picture, and it's something. And so essentially what we're looking at is the project is happening on the east side, right? And there is a sidewalk all the way that goes across the bridge. and then extending the sidewalk, the red line there, from the bridge along the roadway there where the parking is, to the existing sidewalk that is already at the corner. And so this will allow people to walk from downtown, right, all the way into Thurston Park as well as to the other side of Thurston Park. So we're looking at extending that sidewalk. So it's kind of connected from downtown to the proposed launch in the courtesy docks, as well as doing a spur into the pavilion. So it provides that connectivity into the pavilion as well. The other part that we would propose as part of that is looking at the restrooms and figuring out what else is needed to do to create those bathrooms to be universally accessible. Which honestly, they're big and there's not gonna be that much. We talked a little bit about it. There isn't gonna be that much that needs to happen, but making sure that it meets that standard so that anybody who uses the park, whether they're there for the swimming beach, whether they're there for using the playground equipment or using the pavilion, it'll all be universally accessible. And our hope is to help you guys provide that. Kelly, was there agreement that I shared?
It's in their
with you?
packet.
It's in your packet. Excellent, just wanted to make sure. There's a draft agreement that just outlines roles, in what we could offer and what we would be looking for from the village. It's similar to an agreement that we just did with the Village of House Rapids. We helped them raise $1.3 million to do major improvements at Rotary Park in House Rapids. Essentially, we know that you guys own right, you own it, so we would look to you to be responsible for hiring the engineer and being responsible for managing the construction as part of your other project. Obviously with approval, Cal Antrim, because we are willing to help you raise the remaining funds to do those remaining pieces, so the sidewalk and the restroom pieces as well. And as part of that, we would want to make sure that we are also approving the design as well, so we know how much money we need to raise, and we're all on the same page with that. So that's generally what the contract says, also making sure that we're just collaborating on messages and things like that. So I am here offering and hoping that we can continue our partnership and asking you to consider working with us to complete the project as a whole, to create both the water trail access and the connectivity for the entire community to appreciate and expand the impact of this project to more of the community as well. I guess with that, I will ask if there are any questions about specifics.
So specifically,
Yes,
your Paddle Antrim is going to raise the funds for the sidewalk,
correct,
the spur,
correct,
the engineering for both,
correct,
and the updates to both the bathrooms.
yes.
Yep, and we also talked about another little piece of cement, like 4 feet on the south side of the pavilion.
So whatever it takes,
To
including
make
that
it ADA,
sidewalk,
yeah.
to make the whole thing ADA accessible.
Yeah, okay,
So
just wanted to make sure.
when we go out there with the engineer, I had the engineer look, Rob's been out there, I had the engineer do some preliminary stuff, but
Okay.
obviously the engineer needs to come out, do a full engineering design, and they may see something else that we need to add to it. So I'm talking high level until we, have the official engineering
Absolutely.
design, but we are willing to pay for the engineering as well as part of it to make it happen.
I like it, thank you.
Question?
Kip, Mike, Shane, Bill, questions?
Not right now.
All right. So 12A, action item, approved Paddle Antrim Thurston Park Improvement Project. So I'd like to make a motion, we approve the Paddle Antrim Thurston Park Improvement Project. Roll call, please.
Ring,
Yeah.
Chapman,
Yes.
Tyler,
Yep.
Shearhart,
Yeah.
and Drake.
Yes.
Thank you, motion carries. Thank you, Dina.
Yeah, we look forward to working with you.
Let's see, 12B, employee raises. It's been discussed. I think we've got the best employees in Antrim County. I think 5% is not out of the realm for, they're the best. We've never had a better group of individuals working for the village, and we're very fortunate. So, any discussion on that? All right, I'd like to make a motion of employee raises for 2025 at 5%.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Ring,
Yes.
Chapman,
Yes.
Tyler,
Yes.
Shearhart,
Yes.
Drake.
Yes.
C, approve mass notification invoice from Everbridge for $5,090. What are we talking about here, Ally?
So this is our program. If we have like a boil water notice, it will like geo gravitate people's text messages and phone calls so they're aware of the boil water. If we have an emergency in town, it sends them a text or a call or an email, whatever they prefer, lets them know what's happening. It's just our emergency notification system.
Just out of curiosity, have you gone out since you've done this?
Not really.
Not really?
No. It's always been right around 5,000, so I think it went up $90.
Okay.
Great.
I make a motion, we approve the mass notification invoice from Everbridge for $5,090.
Roll call, please.
Ring,
Yes.
Chapman,
Yes.
Tyler,
Yes.
Shearhart,
Yes.
Drake.
Yes.
All right, thank you all. Turn the page. D, approve Mike's Glass invoice for a teller window for $11,385.79. I'm gonna turn this one over to Ally,
Yeah.
because it's gonna affect her the most.
Yeah. So I just wanted a better window. It's kind of sketchy. I'm here by myself like 90% of the time. I just don't like it. We've had some characters come in here where I've had to have some things settled with them. However, I just want to feel safer. And so if we can switch the window out for something a little nicer, it would be nice.
2 summers ago, we had a highly agitated individual in there.
Oh, yeah.
Fortunately, Scott was in his office. I don't know what would have happened if Scott was not there. People have gotten more and more aggressive and agitated in this world now, and with her being here by herself, whatever it takes to make that person safe, that's all I have to say on that one. Anybody else?
Was this the only bid you got?
Yeah, Michelle wanted to go with Mike's Glass. They did all of our work here, so they're familiar with the building.
Oh,
Michelle's the one who got the quote.
okay.
All right, I'd like to make a motion to approve Mike's Glass for a teller window for $11,385.79. Roll call, please.
Ring,
Yes.
Chapman,
Yes.
Tyler,
Yes.
Shearhart,
Yes.
Drake.
Yes.
If anybody ever wants to see the individual in the video, we've got it on video and you would agree. 13, public comment.
Terry Moon would like me to mention that the Antrim County Animal Shelter is seeking donations from local business owners and the community to help fund a new dog fence at their facility. Apparently, they don't have one for their dog run, so they always have to be on leashes. So they'd like to fund a new fence.
How much money are they talking about?
They haven't informed me of that yet.
Did you check with our attorney?
Yes, the village can't give money to that sort of project, unfortunately. So it would have to be like your individual donations from the community.
Okay. Any other public comment? All right, close public comment. I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor of adjournment?
All right.
All right, thank you all for attending. Thank you, Dean, for making your trek here in the snow.
Yeah.
Kelly, same as you. So how many businesses? All right, this is what I heard.